Hey guys, Soncerae here. I'm up actually designing a logo right now. For one of my clients, I have 3 logos to do actually, and this is one of the logos I'm working on for a nonprofit organization. And usually I do logos for nonprofit organizations for the low. Hey Bruna, I'll give them a discount. Usually my logos are about $100, and if a nonprofit comes to me, I give it to them for $75. I like to, when people are doing something positive for the community, I always give them discount rates on graphic design and stuff like that. This morning I took a walk. It's kind of foggy outside. I took a walk, and I actually liked how it feels outside. It's not too hot. It's not too sunny. It's kind of outside, So I took a walk. I wanted to talk about depression and postpartum and emotional distress. I got a lot of emails from people who, saying, I don't want you to stress the baby, and I don't want you to be emotionally distressed. And my mother was talking to me the other day about depression and postpartum depression, and how she has a friend who's been going through it for 2 years. And I just, wanted to get people to understand that it's very much real. A lot of people inside of the Black community don't really focus too much on mental illness. And so for many, many years, I have always considered going to counseling because I'm a counselor myself, and I've given advice myself, and I've helped tons of people, change their lives. And I've always, just been very motivational. So for me, I felt like, hey, I've done that, for so many people before. Why not try to get that for myself? We can't always be perfect all the time. We can't always be feeling good all the time. So why don't I get it for myself? And so the funny thing about it that I noticed about the Black community is that, if people are going through something stressful, or maybe have PTSD, or they may be experiencing something, a lot of Black people make other Black people feel bad about feeling that way. Because it's been taught inside of our community that, feeling negatively or feeling depressed or being sad about something that you experience is not a good thing. Like grief is not a good thing. If you broke up with somebody, or if you are, down on your luck, or if someone passed away, anything negative that could happen inside of, your family that you could possibly not have a positive reaction to, a lot of people, Black people specifically, will make fun of you for having that. And so mental illness is something that I've dealt with for a long time, not really for my own, because I don't have a mental illness. I don't have any, I'm not on any medications, and I don't have any type of mental illness or anything like that. And, it's disturbing that a lot of people fling around, insults about people, calling people delusional or crazy or bipolar or things of that nature. And people, Black people specifically, use these terms to, hurt other people who may be, feeling some type of way. But I know so many people who have mental illnesses. I have 2 very, very close friends who are literally medically, like, taking medications for mental illness. And my mother also has a mental illness. So, being around people who have had it, you guys have no idea what it's really like to have a mental illness. And you guys are going around here calling people all types of, derogatory terms that has to do with mental illness. And it just makes me, it's unfortunate, and a lot of people who are ignorant to the topic will definitely fling around insults to people who may have mental illness, or people who may be just simply going through something bad and feel sad. I have a lot of people who actually believe that I'm actually taking what's going on in my life a lot better than a lot of people would. Now, here's the thing, and I explained this last night in my live stream. I just have a process. Like, I have a certain process I do things. I have a certain way that I do things that help me, move forward. But being as though I'm pregnant, I'm 4 months pregnant, I think about my mental health a lot. It's very, very important to me, because when my baby is born, I don't want to have postpartum depression simply because, the father is not there, or because what I've been going through all year, or whatever the case. I'm pretty sure by the time May gets here, my life will be in a completely different, more positive place, because I'm really getting rid of toxic situations. A lot of people ask me, does YouTube stress me? And I think YouTube will stress someone who hasn't been on it for years. Like, it's people out there who have been on YouTube and they haven't reached the level of, popularity I have. Like, there's a lot of people out there who, have a negative thing to say about me. And my thing is, not everybody's going to like you. There's people out there who have their audience loves them to pieces. And then they have another person that has an audience that doesn't like that person at all. And I just learned the hard way a long time ago that no matter what I did, it was always going to be someone out there who, had something negative to say or negative to bring to the table, because that's just how the world is. But what I notice about people of other cultures and other races, they tend to deal with their emotions a little bit differently. I'm not going to say that they deal with it better, but the Black community definitely does not know anything about mental health and going to see counseling or going to see psychologists and therapists. They actually laugh at that type of behavior. But that's like equivalent to laughing at a doctor who wants to check you for prostate cancer or breast cancer. It's the same thing, because your mind is also an organ. And a lot of people think, your mind, you're supposed to be able to have control over your mind. Well, if you got a mental illness, a lot of times it's a chemical imbalance. A lot of times it has something to do with, something that you can't control. And I don't think people who have mental illnesses should be made fun of, or people who have depression. I mean, it's men out here that I see on a daily basis who are depressed. And, they try to fake the funk for the world that they're not feeling this because, someone in their family or someone they grew up with told them that they couldn't feel this type of way. A lot of people in the Black community had some horrible childhoods. Good morning, Rika. They had some horrible childhoods. Hey, Montel, I saw you in here. And their horrible childhoods teach them how to be a horrible adult. And for me, when I'm on YouTube and I see a lot of people who are horrible, like they're really horrible people. And, me genuinely being the kind of person I am, I'm just really a nice person. So if I don't like a person or if I don't agree with something somebody says, usually 9 times out of 10, I just ignore them. But what people have decided to use to do with social media is use it like it's this fake virtual lifestyle to where they can get onto it anonymously and vent about their issues and show their dysfunction and show their ugliness. And a lot of people think that could possibly harm me because of the situation I'm in. But you have to understand, I filter out shit. Like, I literally see some negative shit and reject it. I don't drink the poison. I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I just be like, all right, whatever, and move on to the next thing. And then I see something positive and I absorb that and I focus on that. Okay, I can drink that. I can drink that. That's healthy for me. But when someone says something negative, I just completely exit out altogether because it's not helpful. It does nothing for me. And when people come onto the internet or people say something negative or do something negative or make fun of other people, they just show me their mental illness. They just show me, what type of person they are. So instead of, me using, their reflection of who they are as a way to make me feel bad about myself, I just reject, their entire existence. And a lot of people just hate that. Like, that's why it's a lot of people asking me right now, do you just block people? Do you just block people? Yeah. I block stupidity on social media. I think it's like a waste of energy. Like, if you're not going to act like a complete moron and a complete idiot, when someone is standing in front of you, why would you act like that online? I think people who can't show their face, like it's a lot of people who, have anonymous profiles and come into chats and come into comment sections and make videos and stuff like that. And they don't take responsibility for nothing that they say. They don't take accountability. That's someone with a mental illness to me. Someone who cannot up front say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I did. This is blah, blah, blah. A person that can't do that, that's a person with a mental illness to me. What kind of personality disorder do you have that makes you feel like it's okay for you to get online, have a fake profile and use that profile to harass somebody, make some videos, be mean? But, like you can have your opinion about somebody else all day. I don't encourage people to not have an opinion. But I do encourage people to, not send people stuff like people will send me messages telling me I deserve to die or I should commit suicide or I should abort my baby. One person told me that they hope I get kicked in the stomach and my baby dies. And a lot of the time, here's the thing, a lot of these anonymous profiles, you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know if you're dealing with a 17-year-old kid. You don't know if it's an 8-year-old that done logged in onto YouTube. You don't know if it's a grown-ass person. You have no idea. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this is an anonymous profile telling me X, Y, Z. Really, all I can do is block it and keep it moving. So, that's the type of shit that I can't drink. And people say, hey, don't let what everybody say stress you. I don't. That's why I delete the shit and keep moving. And I offend a lot of people with that shit. They be offended. They be offended because I take their right to express themselves away from them when they come over here. Because, see, a lot of people go other places and they can express themselves in detrimental ways and, get in touch with their inner mental illness and display all types of hatred and all types of ugly stuff. And they can do that in other, places because I guess they feel like that's fun. A lot of people feel like, oh, that's comedy, that's fun, we want to laugh. But you don't tell somebody that's pregnant that you hope they get kicked in the stomach and then think that that's funny. That's demented right there. So, my thing is I just don't drink the poison. Oral Young, I was following your content, but you was very dismissive to my feedback. And okay, yeah, I would definitely be dismissive to some feedback. That is definitely not something I'm going to drink. I wasn't even isolating criticism towards your worldview. I was a fan of your ability to have dialogue. Listen, it's not up to you, Mr. Young, to determine what's critical to me or what makes me feel uncomfortable. You don't know me. So if you think you coming into a situation and you're not criticizing me or you're not making me feel negatively or that my perspective of what you have to say isn't negative, just because you feel that way doesn't mean I'm going to feel that way. So if you come to me and you say something that I may feel is negative or I may feel is criticism or I'm just not having it because I'm not trying to drink the Kool-Aid or drink that poison, I'm going to block your ass out or be dismissive to what you say. Especially if I feel like your comment might be a little half-witted because you haven't done your research about me completely. And that's really another issue I have. A lot of people, come to my channel and they just communicate in such a negative way or a critical way, and they haven't even taken the time to learn the story of my life or even, watch the past 3 videos I did. Like, it don't take a rocket scientist to watch a playlist. That's one of the easiest things that you can do. You press play and it just plays videos for you. So if you don't understand, the concept of something that's going on, or maybe you just walk into a situation and off of a rumor, you saw me being talked about on another channel, then you come to my channel, I'm like, okay. Now, if you've been watching me for a long time and you've seen me, sit here and talk about whatever I'm talking about and you know me, then you should know better. Then you should know me well enough to know what I'm going to reject or dismiss. And if you know me well enough and you know what I'm going to reject or dismiss, that means that you don't say the shit. And if you voluntarily say the shit anyway, and I reject what you have to say, then that's your fault. Because, this is Soncerae's world. That's the problem. If you want to come into Soncerae's world or be over here, you have to understand that there's a certain set of, it's a structure over here. It may not be structure over where you guys go everywhere else and comment. But here I have a structure. I have a certain way, I want people to communicate with each other. I always want it to be welcoming. And if it feels like it's too critical or too negative, I'm gonna dismiss it. Damon, I'm the last couple of days, I see you grow so much. You don't talk about priests anymore now. Do not talk about the deletes. Now I'm gonna talk about the deletes. And then once I finish talking about the deletes to get people to understand why I delete, then I'll stop talking about the deletes. I talked about priest for almost a month now. And the reason why I decided to talk about priest for a month now is because I've always talked about him on YouTube. And now that we are going through what we're going through, I want people to completely understand where I stand with it. Now, he's taking the opportunity to tell people where he stands with it. That's fine. People can make up their own, decisions about what they want to believe. That's up to them. But I know from my standpoint, anyone who is interested in my life, or interested in how I may be dealing with what's going on with me, I try to be very, very clear with everybody. And I'm at a point right now where it's like, okay, a breakup is stages. When he first did it to me, I was very hurt. And so I was talking about it in a hurt way. Then I started getting angry about it. So I started talking about it in an angry way. Then I started being a little bit more understanding and compassionate to the situation because I'm thinking about him more. So I start talking about him in that way. And then it comes to a point where I'm accepting the fact that he's just going to be an asshole. So now I have to talk about it that way. So it's just steps, and whether the steps I take are long or short is not, it can't be judged by other people. Because I'll take as much time as I need to vent about something or to heal over something or to, speak about something that I can feel will help somebody else. Nubian Goddess, are you admitting you were rejected even if you don't agree with what is being said? Is it structure or control? Here's the thing about structure and control. Structure and control will definitely be something that happens over in Soncerae land. See, I'm not going to let everybody else control Soncerae or what Soncerae think or what Soncerae feel, because the only person that can control Soncerae is Soncerae. So if you come over to Soncerae's channel, Soncerae controls everything. Soncerae is the queen over here. So what I say, go over here. Now, if somebody says something that I don't agree with, I'll sit down and I'll have a conversation with them if we're having a, simple dialogue with each other. But the second it starts to get like people have a tendency of when they're communicating with each other, they get extremely emotional and passionate. And then it starts getting like too much. Like if it gets too excessive or it gets to a point where it's like starting to stress me or starting to be too much, I'll start pulling back and exit out. But a lot of people that come to my channel who are trolls, I really don't like communicating with them at all, because when they do come to the channel, instead of, having intellectual dialogue with me, the first thing that they put in the comment section is something ugly or something cruel. And I'm not for that. Again, I share my life in a public forum, but it still will be a controlled public forum. Church is a public forum, but people act a certain way at church. The damn grocery store is a public place, but people act a certain way in the grocery store. You can't just go into a place and act all crazy and shit. Like certain places, they don't let you can't go in there without a shirt. Some places you can't go in there with a dog. Some places you can't smoke. It's like certain things, like when you go in, you are being welcomed into somebody else's platform or to somebody else's, somebody else's home or someone else's where they dominate. You follow their rules. Like you ever been over somebody's house and, that person might be having a party or some shit, but they tell everybody to take off their shoes. That's their house. You take off your shoes. You don't go into the fucking muddiest place you can find, put your shoes in the mud, and then come in their house and stomp all over their carpet or get on their couch talking about some fuck their couch. No, you take your motherfucking shoes off or you don't come in. So, this may be a public forum, but you will respect me in my forum. If this is, a forum where, if you're in a forum where you are allowed to disrespect people, then that's the forum you need to be in. Here, it's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way, regardless to whether you feel like it's unrealistic or not. Because there's plenty of people who come into this chat who act civilized all day long. I don't usually have that problem. I only usually have that problem with trolls. Damon, I think you're teaching a lot of people how you're going through it. Like right now, how you explain it like that. Yeah, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. You just completely dismissed what I actually said. See how you're not satisfied, Mr. Young? Now, I told you what would make me dismiss something. I actually answered you, and still that's not sufficient for you. It's not enough for you. You needed more. And because I didn't give you more, you upset because you don't control this. See, again, I'm not your puppet. So once I'm done, like once I've addressed you and it's time for me to move forward, that's what I do. I move it forward, keep it flowing. Because honestly, you ain't the only motherfucker in the chat. So it's like one of me and 45 of y'all. So I got to talk to everybody. So when people come into my comment section and they, press to get my attention, or they saying some shit that would, I'm telling them, I'm even answering them. And then when I move on, because they have like a secondary question or they got something else that they want to say or blah, 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 I can't make my whole live stream about you. That's the problem. I think people come in here, and they want my attention so bad, I gotta make, it's weird. Nat Turner, YouTube is like a journal for you. YouTube is like an open letter, a blog, a journal. This is my journey. So I talk about it to people. I help people understand. Some people going through the same thing I'm going through. So people email me all the time saying, Soncerae, I went through this, I went through that. You helped me do blah, 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 blah. Like I feel like a lot of people who go through negative things, if you would be more open about the things you experience, you will realize that there's a lot more people going through what you're going through too. And you could help somebody else and someone could actually help you. Like sometimes people, if they're going through something that I'm going through as well and they email me and we get to talking back and forth, it's like, wow, I didn't even know another human being, felt this way. And this like actually helps me move forward because I'm taking one day at a time. So if someone contacts me with something positive or with their story, it kind of helps like, okay, I'm not the only person that's going through this. That's cool. Right. So I may be pregnant too. I missed my period. What was your early pregnancy signs? It feels different. Like for me, I just felt different. Like I know my body so well. I just felt like something was off in my body or something was different, Again, like here's this LJ. So you only will accept praise. That's not what I said. Like, if you're listening to what I'm saying, that's not even what you would even have picked up off of what I said. I just said, even when someone disagrees with me, I sit there and I have a dialogue with them to try to help them understand my perspective, and I listen to their perspective. But I'm not going to sit here and have a long-winded conversation with just that person in the chat because I have so many other people to talk to. So once the conversation seems like it's going to get escalated or it's going to get bigger, I dismiss it and move on to the next person because I can't sit here and coddle each person. I have to, take in consideration that it's more than one person in this chat, and not everybody want to sit here and talk about your boring ass topic. Some people have so many different questions for me. It's like being a teacher in a class. You got a class full of people. You got a class full of people, you trying to explain your life to it or explain something, that they don't know. So you have to think about it that way. You are not the only student. So I can't really just continuously focus on you at the present time. Now, if you want to go off to the side and email me because you got more questions, that's why I give out my email address. Because, hey, if we're having a conversation inside of a chat and you miss something or you don't understand or you feel like I dismissed you, I got an email address where you and I can talk when I'm not in a chat dealing with a whole bunch of people at once. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you guys are, like, trying to get too much attention. I don't know what it is. Yeah, some people just troll me because they want my attention. They want to see me have a reaction to what they're saying. Emma Madison, did your breast hurt? Yeah, my breast hurt. I didn't have frequent urination. I still don't have that. But my breast was hurting really bad. But that wasn't like the first signs. That was like in my second or third month. But initially, I felt like different. And of course, the nausea. Okay, Don Bossellini, be patient with them. You have new subscribers. They don't know your storyline like your day one subs. Yeah, I do have patience with new subscribers. That's easy to do, but then again, not everybody that's a new subscriber, not everybody ain't a troll. It's still new subscribers that are trolls. So I still have to be able to factor in who I'm talking to. Like, I'm just the type of person, I like intellectual conversation. I like communicating with people. I like engaging. I like interacting, but when people cross the line, like people try to act like they don't know, how to be respectful or they don't know how to communicate. So I have to sit here and teach people, okay, if you want to communicate with me, this is how you're going to have to proceed. Okay, how you communicate with other people is not going to work with me. Damon, I see what you're saying now. People do not listen. Yeah, people don't listen. Like my moderators get upset because they see me having to repeat the same stuff over and over and over again. And it be the same questions. And it's like people asking me that just to annoy me. And so my moderators be like, I hate when people do X, Y, and Z. It's because there's so many ignorant people that's just trying to come to the channel to be mean. They're not coming here to, you know, to be supportive, or they're not coming here to actually be interested in what's going on with me. They just came here to chat because they heard about me from the quote unquote king of trolls. That's what, when people say to me that Tommy is the king of YouTube, no, he's the king of the trolls on here. Because anytime he says something about me, it's like my entire comment section becomes troll central. So I have to like just be deleting shit. And then before I even delete it, I go look at the profile and see if the profile is even a real profile. 9 times out of 10, it ain't even a real profile. So I'm like deleting and deleting. It's just weird. Nubian Goddess, it is interesting to see the amount of people that have the free time to invest in trolling. Exactly, like, you don't have a job? Like, people will get onto YouTube and say, hey, you need to get off YouTube, right? They'll troll me and tell me I need to get off YouTube, right? But I'm thinking to myself, I need to get off YouTube? How do you even have the free time to invest in trolling me? Like, who has time for that? That's what I was saying about, you know, Chris Law doing that interview with Tommy the other day. I was like, who has time for this? I'm surprised he even like stopped his life for an hour to sit down and talk about me on another show. A woman he ain't been with in almost 10 years. Chris actually sat down and had a conversation about a swingers party we did 10 years ago. It's like for some reason he gets some kind of, I don't know, like confidence boost out of talking about Soncerae. It's weird. Because I don't know. Okay, Rice. I have frequent urination and quickening. Quickening is not, okay, listen to this. Quickening is not something that you're going to feel early. Quickening is something that you feel like 3 or 4 months in. Me, I didn't start feeling real severe quickening until like, I don't know, 10 weeks. Like I could feel my baby. You know what I got a lot of? Bloating, gas, belching, nausea. These are the things I felt. Excessive belching, excessive gas. It was bad. Everybody, Dawn Bossellini, everybody doesn't have to work 9 to 5 for money. Exactly. Like for me, you know, I'm trying to use my YouTube channel because my YouTube channel is a source of income, but I get paid monthly. So, you know, I sit here and I do, you know, I do my YouTube videos, and I've been actually making more money off my live streams now. I wasn't making as much money on my regular videos as I am when I do a live stream. Like for some reason, everybody loves me on live stream. And I may not be like this comical person or this person that's always saying something funny and shit like that. But I definitely must have something interesting that people like, because people definitely, you know, come here to, you know, talk to me. Yeah, so thank you, Jay Finish. Yeah, I'm doing a design right now. I'm doing a logo for, like I said, for a nonprofit organization. And so I'm kind of like trying to put together like this. It's a multicultural company, and the name of the company is, I'm not going to tell you, but they're doing like, they want me to put like an eagle on their logo. And because it's a multicultural, like, you know, they just wanted to have like this multicultural vibe, and they want to have an eagle on it too. So at first they wanted me to put like multicultural faces and the eagle. And I said, listen, you got to choose one or the other. Like you can't have both. Like that's too much. I think you need to get rid of one. You mentioned that you listen to TD Jakes. You should know about the Battle and Build video. Oh, I watched TD Jakes on Grace Digital. So they have like little snippets of like stuff, like little 20-minute videos that I watch. I don't know a lot of TD Jakes stuff. I just started watching him like a week ago. Nubian Goddess. People like drama, unfortunately. Well, yeah, that's what I was telling my mother, because I told her ever since this stuff started with me, ever since me and Priest broke up, like when I was saying positive shit about him, I was getting views. You know what I mean? But now it's like the drama is more views. Then I got other people making videos about me. It's like that's the only time people feel like they can express an opinion about me, is when some drama is popping off in my life. But when things are going smooth and I'm doing videos about relationships and I'm giving relationship advice and I'm talking positively, nobody has anything to say. There are no YouTube creators. There are no trolls. None of that. But the second I start, you know, going through something negative, everybody's at my channel, and then the views start going up, and then YouTube starts promoting me more, and then my checks start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, so it's like, okay, why is everybody only focused on the negative stuff regardless to how much positive stuff I talk about day to day? You know, and I got subscribers that say, hey, Soncerae, why don't you do your metaphysics and spirituality videos? I love those videos, but you have to realize that there's more people out there that don't pay attention to those videos than it is people right now that are looking at those videos. You know, I have so many motivational videos. I have cooking tutorials. I have all types of stuff that people don't even bother looking at on my channel. They just come to this channel to see Soncerae's journey, to see the negative stuff that Soncerae is dealing with. And don't let me put up a positive video or something that I'm positively going through. You know, people, you won't even look at that. Nubian goddess. I would definitely turn that pain into profit. Exactly. Like, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, you know, why would you put your business on YouTube? 2 reasons. Number 1, it's helping somebody else. Definitely. It's definitely helping somebody else, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be flooded with so many emails saying, thank you, Soncerae, keep talking about this type of stuff. You're helping me, and you're helping other people who are going through this. Number 2, I don't give a fuck about fame, because if I did, I would be selling y'all a motherfucking dream right now. But I definitely care about my motherfucking money. Okay? Now, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that YouTube is a profit. YouTube, you make money off of. YouTube is a business. Even though I'm sitting here and I'm journaling my life, there is a method to my madness here. It's like I'm telling you this because I make a profit off of it as well. So not only am I helping someone else heal, I'm helping myself heal by actually speaking about it, because, you know, talking about it actually helps. Like, a lot of people think, how could you talk about this? This has to be hurting you worse because you have so many trolls saying so many negative things about you. No, because the second I start venting about it and start opening up about it is the second the healing starts coming in. Like, once you start letting that negative stuff out, the positive stuff starts coming in. And it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel better because I'm actually speaking about it. And then the people that I'm helping are communicating with me. So we're bouncing off of each other, all of this positive energy. And then I'm also getting paid to do it. So a lot of people, you know, who focus on the negative, they wouldn't be able to, you know, do some shit like this. I do, because I understand the process. Like, I understand what's going on. A lot of other people, like, can't understand it. They won't be able to, you know, grasp the concept of not giving a fuck about what people think. A person will say, I don't give a fuck about what people think, but they will not tell you the truth about their lives because they want, you know, people to, you know, not judge them. Nicole, you do good live because you actually respond to people and still polite to the rude ones. Listen, it's sometimes I be rude to the rude ones, Nicole. Like, sometimes they be rude. I be like, you know what? All right, I can't take this no more. I'm about to be rude to your ass. And people get mad. They get mad at me. So either way, a troll gonna get mad at me regardless, because their whole motive for being inside of my chat don't have nothing to do with nothing but trolling. Bruna, I like your streams because you're very insightful and we can interact real time. Thank you. You know what I try to do? I try to enlighten. I try to teach people what I think, because what I think is so esoteric. Like, not a lot of people think how I think. So I just try to share it, you know, so people can look at the world differently from how they've been looking at it, because you see so many people behaving the same way. It's like monkey see, monkey do. Everyone feels like they got to act in this one unison way all of the time. You know, there's one thing to have unity when it's time to, and then there's another time where you can be an individual. And I choose to show how my individualism. I don't act how people on YouTube act all the time. Like, we sometimes we do the same thing. Like, we might do commentary, we might do a live stream, we might talk shit, we might make fun of people, whatever it is that we do sometimes. But I know for me, I'm very, 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 I try to show my individualism. Miss Faith Butterfly. Soncerae, your response to Crystalline was fine, but we have, as a black woman, have to stop using the B word so much. Fuck that bitch. Let me tell you something. I'm going to use the B word like a motherfucker. Fuck that bitch. No, when a bitch is acting like a bitch, I'm going to call her the B word. She was acting like a bitch. Now, it's one thing to give your opinion about someone. You know what I'm saying? You can give your opinion about someone, right? But to be as ugly as she was and not sensitive to the situation, And then to try to not say my name, like people wasn't going to figure out that's who she was talking about. She tried to be slick, like wasn't nobody going to tell me? Like she had to know someone was going to know she was talking about me. Like, you don't do no shit like that. You don't do no shit like that. She's a bitch. And I will continue to any woman who does some shit like that to another woman when she's supposed to be about women empowerment and positivity is a bitch. That's a scum of the earth low bitch right there. And I'm going to keep calling her the B word. Now, any person who comes into my chat and she might say something negative or say something that I agree with, I disagree with, it doesn't mean that she's a bad person. It doesn't mean she's a bitch. Miss Butterfly, you just came in here, you disagree with me. I'm not going to be like, fuck you, bitch. No, I'm not going to do that. Because you're not acting like a bitch. You just saying, hey, I disagree with you using the B word. And guess what I said after you told me that? Oh, no, I'm going to keep using the B word. You don't use the B word. I'm going to use the B word every time I see a bitch. Okay? Because that's exactly what she is. A low scum of the earth bitch. Like, listen, you want to call her something else? Knock yourself out. But I don't go around calling my homegirls, hey, what up, bitch? And high five. I don't do that. Me and my homegirls, we don't do that. We don't call each other names. We don't call each other bitch, yes, and all that stuff. You know how women be doing. Me and my girlfriends are like that. We talk regular. Like, we nerds and intellectual. We don't do that stuff to each other like that. You don't see chicks coming into my chat and I be like, yes, bitch, hey. I don't do that. The women that come into my chat, I talk regular to them. So I can agree with you when you say don't call each other bitch in that way. I use bitch as a negative term, not a term of endearment. It's fuck you, bitch. That's it. Okay, from one 31-year-old to another, you have to stop airing your dirty laundry on social media. Well, one 37-year-old to another is you need to mind your motherfucking business if you don't like it. If you don't like what I do, you can go. I just explained why I do it. And so what? I have the courage to do it. And you motherfuckers don't. I do. Stop judging people that have the courage to do some shit you would never do. Because you're too scared. You're too worried about people judging you. You're too worried about people knowing what's going on with you. I don't care. The whole purpose is, everybody, listen, this is what I'm going through. Because I don't just air my dirty laundry. That's just the shit you bitches watch. I just said I got all this other positive stuff on my channel where I talk about my life positively. I got cooking videos. I got motivational videos. I got inspirational videos. I got metaphysics and spirituality videos. I talk about Buddhism. I talk about all this stuff. Y'all not paying attention to it. You only pay attention to the dirty laundry. You don't pay attention to the other stuff. So the problem is you. Okay? You want to see something else? Go look on the other videos I got on my channel. That makes sense. Bruna, what are your thoughts on veganism? I think vegetarian I was before, and it was veganism is, it could purely help you out, but I think some of that stuff is kind of dangerous because you need protein. How much protein do you get as a vegan? J Fitness, she's about transparency overall, real good or bad, right? I talk about everything, good and bad shit. I don't just talk about dirty laundry. Does YouTube harm or help your graphic design brand? Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Like, listen, when somebody coming to me about a service, usually they coming to me about something that has to do with business and the service that I'm trying to provide. They're not even thinking about YouTube. Like, they don't even care about that. They just want me to do their design. Like, some people from YouTube will come to me and say, hey, do my design. But the way that I act when I'm doing my graphic design is so professional and so off to the side that it doesn't have any, reflection on, what I'm doing on YouTube. Kavita, I love your spaghetti editorial. Oh, my spaghetti tutorial. You know what? My most popular cooking tutorial is the one I did with my daughter, where I made pancakes. For some reason, that fucking tutorial has thousands of views of us just making pancakes. And I don't know why, it just does. It's like everybody loves that. Remember Chris said you were a great conversationalist. No, I don't remember Chris saying that. But like I said before, Chris Law and I were cool. Like, I enjoyed Chris. Chris was a very important part of my life during that time. I don't hate Chris. I just hate the way that he handled me. And since he has apologized, and him getting on to him going on to Tommy Sotomayor's channel to talk about me the other day is disturbing, because I thought that shit was over. But I'm not going to keep being mad at Chris over this shit. He wants to keep talking about it. He can keep talking about it. It's okay. But when we were dealing with each other, we used to talk all the time. We used to have great conversations. We used to laugh all the time. We had great sex. Okay? Me and Chris really was like friends. And so, no, regardless, he a man. Okay? What men going to do is they're going to get online, or they're going to get around other men, and they're going to try to downplay their situation, or try to make it seem like the woman that they fucking with, or the woman that they was with, might be on a lower level than, like he'll get on there and try to make it seem like I was like this jump off and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You don't do the things that Chris was doing with me to some random jump off. Okay, like he was really my friend, and I knew where he lived. I knew his family. I met his friends. I knew his frat brothers. I was like literally Chris's friend. So, whether he downplayed it or not, that's up to him. I'm going to let him be a man and do his man shit, and I'm going to let him have that. If that's what he want to portray himself to be around men. Because men, that's what men do. Men want to be manly and shit. But me and Chris talked a lot. We had fun. We cared about each other. We loved each other. We had fun with each other. You hear me? Like, that shit was one of the best parts of my life. He showed me another side of the world that I didn't even know existed. And I don't know, I just feel like people shouldn't regret shit like that. And I don't regret that. Devonna Monroe, I'm glad you are an open book, very helpful. Not everyone's reality is the same. I understand letting it out, because holding it in is not healthy at all. That's very true, because I tell people this, and I know you guys have heard me say this before, but I'm going to keep saying this. There are so many things happening in this world that are bad, that are thriving in private and secrecy. Because in the Black community, we all been taught whatever happens in this house stays in this house. You don't go tell a therapist. You don't go tell a counselor. You don't go tell, Linda up the street. You don't talk about it. And that kind of mindset has people sweeping a whole bunch of negative stuff we go through under the rug. I don't do that. And, that ain't for everybody. I don't encourage everybody to do that if that makes them feel uncomfortable or insecure about themselves. But see, me, I'm a confident person. I'm very, very comfortable in who I am, even with the mistakes that I made. So it's easy for me to communicate in a way to where I'm saying, okay, yeah, I did this fucked up shit and it was stupid. Like when I went on Tommy Sotomayor's show, I was like, don't ever do what I did, because that was really dumb. Like, I don't even know why I did that. And I said that to him. And any mistake I made, I apologize for it. Because really, to me, it's like, why try to pretend to be something I'm not and be uncomfortable? Because even if I sit there and pretend I'm like perfection, someone is not going to like me. So why not just be me, feel comfortable, tell people this is who I am, and still let people judge me? Because either way, they're going to judge me. Like, it doesn't matter. And I realized that when I was in high school. Damon, a part of Buddhist religion. What are you asking? A part of Buddhist religion, am I right or wrong? Are you asking me, am I part of Buddha? Yes, I'm Buddhist, but the problem is I'm not really big on religion like that. That's one thing. I'm really not, why fall pregnant with a Black male who is unstable? Does your child deserve better? Anna, I'm not talking about Priest anymore. If you may be confused about what happened between Priest and I have a playlist. It's called Priest plus Ray. You can get a better understanding about what happened and why it happened the way that it happened. But I'm not talking about Priest anymore on my live streams, or I'm not making any more videos about him. So just go check out older videos. Mr. Backwards. Yeah, a lot of vegans have terrible blood work. Yeah, something ain't right about being vegan. Like, being vegan can get you messed up. And vegetarian. You got to have that protein. Bruna, there are plenty of plant-based proteins. I lost 70 pounds. Please follow me if love to discuss health with you. Let's email. Well, here's my thing. I don't do a lot of meats. I do chicken and turkey. That's it. And the thing is, I like carbs, I think. I like pasta and bread. Like when it gets 11 o'clock, because it's 10:20. At 11 o'clock, I'm hitting up Uber Eats so they can go get me some Olive Garden. I eat Olive Garden like once a week. I want some pasta. I want some chicken Alfredo. I want some Parmesan, chicken Parmesan, or something like that. Because I love the pasta. But what I can't eat is that garlic bread. Oh my God. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me in that garlic bread. Nat Turner, when did he apologize? Who? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Chris? Chris apologized earlier this year. Chris and Jap created this fake profile on Facebook and started talking to me from the profile. They was pretending like they was this girl. And the girl was asking me a whole bunch of questions. Okay, and she would tell me stuff that Chris really thought or really felt. And then Chris got to really see how I genuinely felt about him or what I thought about him through this girl, because I was thinking I was talking to a girl when actually it was him and Jap playing me for like 2 months. And then finally, after that second month, Chris came and said it was him. Men be tripping. I don't. Men be tripping. Oh my God, I got to Red Lobster almost each week. Oh yeah, Red Lobster. I don't know about Red Lobster. I ain't been to Red Lobster in a long time. When vegans usually try to sell their hair, they end up getting it rejected because it's so frail from lack of nutrients. Wow, I didn't know. Why would a vegan person try to sell their? Why would anybody try to sell their hair? You mean like an Indian person, a Brazilian person? Because a lot of women sell their hair, in that country, so they can make some weave. But I don't see a black person. Oh, white people. Who wants to buy white people hair? I don't know nobody that say, yo, give me that Caucasian bundle. I ain't never seen that. Yo, can I get that Caucasian bundle right there and number 2, brown? Can I get that blonde Caucasian wig? Nah, because they don't usually make wigs out of Caucasian hair. They make it out of Brazilian or Indian Remy or something like that. It's always like an Indian person or Brazilian person because it's thicker. See, white people have an issue with, they have thin hair. Their hair is very thin, so they have to use products to give them volume. Not every, white person has like that thick hair, Anti-idiot, are your eyes a lighter shade of brown? No. My eyes are the same. No. I have on my contacts. I have on my contact lenses. Who will buy white people's hair regardless? My hair is growing well. I get relaxers too. 4C hair. Well, I don't relax my hair. Like right now my hair is like curly, but it was in a ponytail, so it stretches out. You see how I like stretch? It's because I had it in a ponytail. But I don't perm my hair or anything. I flat iron it. I use this to flat iron my hair. This is heat protection hair serum. And I'll use this to, put my hair, like, when I be putting my hair up and I had a bangs, I flat iron my hair. But my hair is so curly that, oh my God, I look ridiculous. I look ridiculous. It's like big and curly, and I just put it back in a ponytail, like, and it's hard to even get it in that ponytail sometimes. White people need wigs for themselves. It's not just about black people. Yeah, but white people still aren't going and buying wigs that have Caucasian hair. Like, have you been at a beauty supply store? There's no Caucasian, like, grain of hair at the beauty supply store. Even if you go to a white beauty supply store, they don't have, like, if they have wigs, the wigs are synthetic. So it's not Caucasian hair. So it's not a lot of white women out there selling their hair. That's why I don't understand what you're saying, because it's not usually what they do. I don't know. Like show me where you can buy a Caucasian white person wig at. I gotta see that. I don't know about that. That's a weird one. a butterfly. I seen that heat protection in Walmart. I've been trying to use less heat lately. Yeah, I just started using heat. Before that, I was just like getting braids and doing crochet and things of that nature. And then I got pregnant. And I said I didn't want all this hair around me. I wanted to have like a solid hairstyle. And my hair will always get caught in like priest jewelry or on priest. And priest got dreads, right? So our hair getting caught in each other hair. And it's just like, right? And I started really changing. So when I got pregnant, I started to try to get more organized because I need my hair to be one way. Because all this curly hair and stuff, I just need it until I feel better. Like once I feel 100% better, then I can do all that. So anyway, I'm about ready to get off and finish this logo. I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.